Welcome to this video on navigating a Microsoft Teams meeting at the New Brunswick Community College. And so NBCC uses Microsoft Teams to connect with colleagues, students, and other stakeholders in a virtual environment. Now, there's a couple of ways in which you can access your virtual meeting links. So initially, when you get invited to a meeting, your invite is going to come into your Microsoft Outlook email. And so Microsoft Outlook is what NBCC uses as our email service. And so I'm going to open up my Microsoft Outlook here, and you can see that I've been invited to this meeting right here. So there's a couple of options for me. If the meeting is just about to occur, just below the meeting invite, there's an option here to click here to join the meeting. So I can do that if the meeting's going to happen right away. Otherwise, if it's going to happen sometime in the future, I can press the accept button right here. And once I press the accept button, what it's going to do is it's going to remove this invite from my email here, and it's going to put it within my Microsoft Outlook calendar and in my Microsoft Teams application calendar. And so we're just going to start here by selecting the calendar tool over here on the far left in Outlook. So when I go under the calendar tool, there's going to be this test meeting I have created right here for this demonstration. There's a little join button. It's a little crossed out here, but if I press the join button, it'll allow me to join the meeting right here. So that's the first way I can join it. Another option, and the most popular way at NBCC, is to go into the Microsoft Teams application. And so where you would find that is in the type here to search. I can just go down and look for Microsoft Teams. Oh, we just had it right there. There it is, Microsoft Teams. So that's the app. So I can either select the app here from the little search option, or all of you should have on the desktop of your NBCC staff laptop, you'll have the Microsoft Teams application. So you can just double click on the icon on your desktop, and then it'll open the Teams app. That'll look like this. And then what you want to do is you want to go under the third link right here, which is the calendar. So the calendar will show you all of those meeting invites that you have that you've accepted. Now, if you want to create a meeting, you can also do that within the calendar area here. If you go over to the far right, there's a new meeting right here option. So if I press new meeting, it'll just bring up this new window here where I can go on, I can put in a title of the meeting, who I want to invite, the dates and times of the meeting, whether it repeats or not, and there's some additional information here. If you don't want it to be an online meeting, you can toggle this off. Once you have everything set up, you can just press the save button here, and it'll send the invites out to the appropriate people, and then just add that item to your calendar here. And just one other thing I want to point out on the calendar page here is you can change your filtering to change it to either that individual day, the work week, which would be Monday to Friday, or the entire 7-day week, so the Sunday to the next Sunday. And so for the demonstration, what I'm going to do is I've got this test meeting that's created here that I need to join. And so to join into that meeting, I'm just going to press the join button right here. And once I press the join button, it's going to open up this window right here. So there's a few options in here before I join into the meeting. I'm going to begin over here on the right. So the default here that I have is my computer audio. What I'm going to do is I'm going to toggle this over to make my microphone muted. So if it's over on this side, it means my microphone is live when I join into the meeting, which in this case I don't want. So I'm just going to turn my microphone off. It's selected here, the computer audio. However, if I was joining from a phone, I could choose phone audio. If I was in a conference room and wanted to use the audio system within that room, I can choose room audio here. Don't use audio. If I don't want to use audio at all, I can select that. But for the demo, we're just going to leave it as computer audio. I can adjust the volume here if I need to. And then over here on the left, there's some camera options. So if I want my camera to be on when I join the meeting, I can toggle it on right here. You can see me right here. I can click on effects and avatars here and add some background effects. So if I want to change my background to, for example, this or one of these, I can, and you can go down, you can click on more video effects to get a list, but we're not going to, cover that in this demo. I'm just going to go and turn my camera off here so it's not a distraction. And then I'm just going to go under the gear icon right here. So this is your audio and video settings. So over here on the right, you can see the audio settings. So the audio device, this is your main audio device. So for me, I have a Yeti Nano microphone plugged in, so it's selecting that. You can also select the speaker. So the audio device is your main audio device. The speaker would be where the audio is coming in. So when the other people are talking to you, what do you want your speaker source to be for that? So you can click on it. You can use, for me, I have the Yeti Nano or the internal speakers here in my computer that I could select. So there's a couple options there. The microphone is the audio out. So what's going to be used when you're talking and speaking to the other guests in the meeting, what you want your microphone to be. So you can select that. And after you do that, you can scroll down. There's the video settings here where you can select what you want your camera to be. So by default, most of the times it's going to choose your internal computer camera unless you have another camera source plugged in. And so once you have that all set up, I can just go and press the X right here. And then I'm ready to join into my meeting. And so I can just choose join now right here. And so it'll join me into the meeting. And so once I'm joined into the meeting, we'll just begin over here on the left-hand side. There's a chat right here. So if I choose the chat option, what it's going to do is it's going to open up a meeting chat. So basically anyone who's a participant in the meeting will have access to the chat. Now, one thing to keep in mind is if you have guests coming in from outside of NBCC, those outside guests do not have access to the chat. It's only for people internal to NBCC that are participants or, instructors, students, that kind of thing. So that's just one thing to keep in mind. So to use the chat, I can just type in a message here. So I can just, type in hi, whatever I want. And then I can press the little icon right here to send the message, or I can just press enter on my keyboard. And once I do that, it'll send that message out to everyone who's in the meeting. And just down here at the bottom, we'll just go through some of the options here. There's the formatting here where I can, bold, italicize, underline, and so on. So there's a few options there. The second here is I can set the delivery option. So if it's an important or urgent message, I can kind of set that here. There's also the ability to add attachments. So I can upload an attachment from the device or attach cloud files. The other thing here is I can go and loop components. So I can create bulleted lists, a discussion topic, numbered lists, and all of these things I can create in here are items that everyone in the chat can edit in line, which is really cool. There's some little emojis here that I can choose that'll just appear in the chat. So I can, if I want to choose, a little mad emoji, for example, I can select it here and then just press the little icon here, or again, the enter key, and it'll post that emoji. And then the three little dots right here, you can add, some stickers to pick from here or some more apps. And so if we go back up and select the people right here, the people option, it's going to show me all of the people here that are in the meeting. So you can see everyone in the meeting. If, for example, you were an instructor and you were the main organizer of the meeting, you do have the option in this window to go and mute the participants. So if a student, for example, comes in and their microphone is live here, you can see that they're talking. You do have the option to go and just click on the three little dots here and it'll say mute participant. Because I'm the only one in the meeting, I don't have that option, but you can go and mute students here if you need to. And again, this is just a spot to see everybody who's in the meeting. The raised hand icon. So if I happen to have a question during a session, I can choose the raise hand icon. And once I do that, you'll see the people icon here has a 1 in it. So that lets the person who's speaking know that there is some kind of a question. And over here under the people list, you can see that I have a 1 next to the hand. And so that just shows that I was the first one to have my hand up. So if there was 3 people with their hand up, the next person to put their hand up would have a 2, and so on. So that way you can answer questions in the order that they came in. And so to put your hand down, all you have to do is select the raise hand icon again, and it'll just put your hand down. There's some options here to react. So if you want to give a thumbs up, or you want to love something, give applause to somebody who's done, a great job, or you want to give kudos to them. You want to laugh or show a surprise face, you can do that as well. Under the view right here, the standard one is the gallery view. However, you could use, for example, the together mode. So the together mode, if I selected that, what it would do is it would bring everyone together, for example, in an auditorium. It supports up to 50 videos. So if you have a large group and you want to, have everyone in there for like a little picture, a screenshot or something, it's kind of fun to do that. Otherwise, with smaller groups, if you want to have a meeting and pretend you're, for example, around a round table or something, there's some, fun little options here that you can go and choose. If you want to choose any of these options, you can press the apply button. So select together mode for everyone. So that means everyone in the meeting will be switched to together mode. So that's just one thing to keep in mind. If you only want together mode just for you, you would unselect that box so only you see the together mode. Maybe you select this little auditorium option here and press apply, and then you're good to go. But for the demonstration here, I'm just going to click X to close this out. And so there's also the rooms right here I can select where I can go on and create breakout rooms. So with the breakout rooms, you can choose the number of breakout rooms you want to create and then assign participants here. What you can do is you can assign them to either be automatically broken out into the groups or manually. So if you choose manually, it would be up to you to put the individuals in the group, whereas automatically, Teams would just, automatically distribute the people into those groups or rooms, I guess, and then you can just press the create rooms button and then you're good to go. I'm just going to click X here to close that. You can also add some apps here as well. So there's Excel, Forms, Word, OneNote, Whiteboard, PowerPoint, and etc. You can scroll down through the list and there's all these different add-ins as well. Under the More option here, just a couple things I'll cover here. You can record and transcribe this meeting. So if you want to record it to watch afterwards or send to people who maybe missed it, this is where you would go to select that. You can get the meeting info by just clicking the meeting information right here. The effects and avatars, this is where you can go and select your background image. So a few minutes ago, we were looking at how you can go blur background and add images and stuff. And so this is where you do this within the meeting. And then if you want to use it, you can press apply and turn on video. And then the last thing I'll cover under the More option here is under the settings right here. The important one is the device settings. So I'm going to go under settings and device settings. So if you enter into a meeting and you're having problems with your audio or video, again, before we joined into the meeting, we kind of looked at that, but you can change those settings here. So you can change your main audio device or your speaker, your microphone, and you can have it turned on. And if there's little bars lighting up here, your microphone's working. And then you can just change your video here if you need to. So I'm just going to click X to close that. And then just the last few here. If you want to share your camera in the meeting, you can press the little camera icon here. You can see me again right here. If you want to turn on your microphone, you would just click on the microphone icon right here and it'll make your microphone live. And then share. So if you want to share your screen for a presentation, you can choose share right here. And then there's some presenter mode options right here that you can go on and select. You can share either your entire screen, or if you have a series of windows open, you can just share, one window from your screen. You can share whiteboard, content from camera, PowerPoint presentations, Excel, etc. And one thing that I do want to point out here is if you're sharing anything that includes audio, make sure you turn on the include computer sound. So anytime if you're sharing a YouTube video or anything with any kind of sound that the participants need to hear, make sure you turn that on before you share your screen. And then once you're completely done with the meeting and you're ready to leave, you can just press either the leave button or you can click on the little X here and you'll be able to, once you click the X, it'll exit you from the meeting. And so I'm just going to press the leave button right here. And then that's it. So this concludes the tutorial on navigating a Microsoft Teams meeting at the New Brunswick Community College.